Sunny day flooding is a phenomenon that has begun to crop up over recent decades, mainly along the coasts. Sunny day flooding, also known as nuisance flooding, tidal flooding, and high tide flooding, gets its primary name from the fact that it doesn't require a storm for water to flood a populated area. It happens in the middle of otherwise fine weather, making it a rather unique form of flooding. Sunny day flooding is attributed to the growing climate changes on our oceans, particularly the rise in sea level. This is combined with the subsidence of land, which is when land sinks, and together it's no wonder that this nuisance flooding occurs. All of these cutesy names take away from the very real and disturbing fact that climate change is quickly sinking coastal areas. Thermal expansion is thought to be a major cause of the rising sea levels. This expansion is due to the rising temperature, which causes the oceans to warm. As we have discussed in class, water expands when it's heated, and because of this, some bodies of water in our oceans are simply beginning to take up more space as their temperatures increase. Another reason for the higher sea levels is the melting of glaciers and other ice masses due to natural causes as well as climate change. Sunny day flooding is typically called nuisance flooding for a reason. It's more annoying than it is a danger to human life. Coastal cities are now having to plan for the flooding as it becomes more a part of normal life for some areas. These cities have begun to spend big money on ways to protect the infrastructure and properties from flooding, such as raising streets and seawalls, as well as installing pumps. It interrupts normal day-to-day life, particularly of people living adjacent to the ocean. In some areas, it completely disrupts transportation routes and is threatening to damage property in ways people did not anticipate when purchasing the properties. While sunny day flooding doesn't threaten the lives of people living in the areas, it does do considerable damage to infrastructure. Since it is a fairly new occurrence, there have been few societal impacts thus far, but more research on the matter needs to be done. In the U.S., East Coast nuisance flooding occurs more often in some places than others. In Annapolis, Maryland, for example, as many as 60 or more days out of the year are flood days. According to the National Ocean Service, high tide flooding, aka sunny day flooding, has increased in the U.S. on average by 50% since 20 years ago and 100% since 30 years ago. This has some major implications for future flooding in that not only will the amount of flooding continue to drastically increase, but with more water flooding more often also comes more damage more often.